welcome Coindesk Chief Content Officer Michael Casey and XTC co-founder Bill Ty.
Hello, hello, hello. So I can't tell you how excited I am for this, Bill. This is awesome. This is our first ever XTC Coindesk Web3 Pitch Fest, and we have got just an amazing array of applicants for this, and then the finalists that we got down to. Just super excited about. So welcome everybody. I think you're going to see a lot of really interesting, really compelling cases put forward to you. I think it's going to be entertaining. It's going to be just an insight really into how much innovation, ingenuity, creativity is being unleashed in this space. And I'm looking
meaningful.
And meaningful, exactly.
Yeah, I think, a little story of the XTC. So XTC, if you're wondering how it got the name Extreme Tech Challenge along with Coindesk, it actually, oddly enough, truth is stranger than fiction. It started around a group of extreme sports athletes on a kiteboarding trip that happened to be going to the same places over and over and seeing the ocean deteriorate. And a nonprofit was formed to work on environmental conservation and economic empowerment through entrepreneurship. Somehow we ended up looping in a trip to Necker Island, where 3 lucky finalists will go out of this competition. And that was when we coined the term and the name Extreme Tech Challenge, and started to orient the contest towards finding solutions that were technology based, that could lower friction, replicate and scale things that were good for this planet and people. And so honored to have XTC partner with Coindesk to bring a vertical around the blockchain and Web3 space, because these are really foundational to all the things that are going to be happening over the next 20 or 30 years. Oh
yeah, I think it's impossible to imagine how we're going to solve the multitude of problems that the world faces without thinking about it in the context of decentralized systems and Web3 technologies. It's just, we need to bring this technology to bear to deal with this. It's not the only solution. There's countless other elements that need to come into this. But it's very important that this tech be engaged with the social impact and the environmental impact. And it's great that they're going to Necker Island as a victory, because you and I have been there. It is a place that is almost symbolic to water conservation, which I know is a huge issue for you, ocean conservation. And it is a place that really leans hard into sort of environmental issues and a lot of social impact conversations as well.
And it's a center of community, because I think above and beyond just the technology, unless there's the people and the communities of interest to drive them, and a little bit of I guess economic alignment of interest to make things happen, a lot of the solutions that have been tried to help the environment and other things, they don't work because the economic viability is not there. So I think bringing together what all of you represent and what this contest represents and the contestants themselves around finding technology solutions that can produce profits so that they are sustainable on their own, but as an exhaust out of running the business every day are doing good things for people and planet.
Clean exhaust.
Yes, very clean exhaust. Yes, yeah. That's what this is all about. So really excited to see the companies. They're really good.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, and it is that you need this competition, right? You need a bit of that sort of edge. Can I win? Can I want? It drives people forward. But there's also a very collaborative element to all of this. I think it's one of the spirits of this. There's all sorts of support that we have here at Consensus from multiple different chains. This is the way we approach these things. It's for everybody, not just a sort of a narrow pocket. So it's
communities matter.
Absolutely.
It's the way we all get things done together. I guess there's a phrase that Dante always uses, which is. If you want to go fast, you go alone, but if you want to go far, you go together.
There you go. There you go. Alrighty, so you're going to see some great stuff. Let's get the show on the road.
Yeah, and we're introducing Victoria, I think.
Victoria's coming out and going to give us a rundown of how this is going to work. Victoria from Extreme Tech Challenge.
Thank you all for being here.
And I want to thank you, Michael and Bill, for kicking us off with some inspiring words. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here today representing Extreme Tech Challenge and kicking off our inaugural Web3 Pitch Fest in collaboration with Coindesk and Consensus. So welcome all of you joining here and also joining via streaming. As Bill mentioned, as the world's largest startup competition and community for purpose-driven entrepreneurs, we're all about finding and supporting amazing founders that are building innovations that can create a better world, but also can have the potential of becoming big businesses. So what you'll see today are 8 finalist companies that are a really great representation of that in Web3. So let me first bring up our judging panel. Welcome judges to the stage. Round of applause for the judges. And while you get situated, let's bring up the pitchers. Let's bring up our founders today. All right, big round of applause to our contestants. From Singapore to the US, I mean, they really represent a wide range of founders from this year's pool. So super excited that you're all here. Let's get you all seated. And then I'm going to start on this side of the judges to have them introduce themselves. So let's start with you, Melton.
Great. Hi, everyone. Oops, throwing water everywhere. Melton Damaris. I'm the Chief Strategy Officer at CoinShares. This is a full circle conference for me because before I was at CoinShares, I was at Digital Currency Group on the investments team. So excited to be here with Rumi. I've been investing in the space for the last 7 years and excited to hear from all of these companies today.
Welcome. We're so happy you're here. Francis, say a few words.
Hi, I'm Francis Ho. Very nice to meet you guys. Very excited to be helping with finding the winners out of this amazing group here. I'm a partner with Walden Catalyst. We're a global deep tech VC fund. And the way to think of us is that, number one, we focus on deep tech, which for us is basically like the data stack that powers everything Web 2 and Web 3. And second is that we have, I think, especially strong combination of operating experience and investment experience. We have something like 124 IPOs under our belt. My own background is I was a physicist doing research in optics and quantum. And then I went to like McKinsey and several startups, was lucky to be part of a few IPOs. And then at Samsung, I was co-head of Samsung Catalyst Fund. And at Walden, I focused on deep tech and specifically blockchain infrastructure technologies. Thank you.
Welcome, Francis. And finally, Rumi, thanks for joining us.
It is so exciting to be here. Melton mentioned I'm at Digital Currency Group, which is the parent company of Coindesk and this Consensus. But this is I don't know, maybe my 3rd time as a judge. My first time at the Consensus conference was 2016. It was a proof of work competition. You can see how much things have changed since then when I was back then running the venture arm for the CME group. Anyway, so exciting to be back and hear what you guys are going to be pitching towards us.
Great. Thank you, judges. Today, you'll hear from each of the contestants here. Each of the entrepreneurs is going to pitch for 3 minutes, followed by 4 minutes of Q&A with the judges. So with that, at the end, we will select 3 winners who will be joining me at Neckerverse Summit at Richards Branson's Necker Island. So again, Extreme Tech Challenge is all about giving entrepreneurs the ability to be seen, being heard, and build relationships that can last you well into the future. So with that, let me introduce the first entrepreneur on stage from Bamboo.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Blake Cassidy, and I'm the CEO of a company called Bamboo. And Bamboo is an investment app that allows everyday people to keep their savings in digital assets. And we do this by connecting the Bamboo app to a user's bank account and to allow them to make tiny investments every time that they spend money into digital currencies. Now put your hand up if you've ever bought high and sold low in a market bottom. Who here has ever made an emotional trade? Or who has invested more than they can afford to lose? These are common mistakes that many people make when entering the sector. And as a result, tens of millions of people churn from having a poor user experience. And exchanges aren't on our side. Exchanges make money from encouraging you to trade and buy speculative assets, right? But only 6% of professional traders are successful. So why are we giving them the tools and encouraging them to do these things? We're really setting people up that are entering the space to fail. And the data shows this. The churn rates on exchanges is massive. The churn rate on Bamboo, we try to set people up for success so it's far more sustainable. And the gap is really our addressable market. So Bamboo is different from exchange. We build the parameters to set our users up for success. Kind of like bumpers for crypto. Bamboo tries to respond to the issues by making sure that our users employ a strategy like dollar cost averaging. They micro-save so they don't invest more than they can afford to lose. And it's user-friendly, so it's saying that you can give to your mum or your friend that's crypto curious, and therefore creating a larger addressable market. And this is evident from our data. 50% of Americans only have 3 months savings or less in their bank account. So they need better tools to help them save and to hedge against inflation. So our product is very much about financial inclusion for millennials and Gen Zs. We have a pretty big community. We launched a podcast last year. It shot to #1 in the Australian business charts. And we have about 50,000 monthly downloads. And we also have about 70,000 downloads of our product in Australia. Our team's amazing, with deep experience across the hedge fund industry, micro savings, financial services, and product, which all contribute to helping us execute on our vision. So finally, we're about to launch in the US in the next couple of weeks. We have a waiting list of about 27,000 people, and we're raising cash to help our growth here. And during this bear market, it's really important that we take market share, build our brand to become a category leader. So thank you.
Thank you, Blake from Bamboo. Over to you, judges, for your questions.
Oh.
Yeah, you're not done yet, Blake.
Sorry.
Can you talk a little bit about the competition?
The competition?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. So there's Acorns, which is a similar model. They're Web2. We're really crypto native. There are others that have tried this model, but no one's executed on product market fit. We have strong data to show that the market's looking for our product. That waiting list that we generated was fully organic. So that's people like punching into Google, being like micro savings crypto. So we're now here to launch it and test that thesis.
I have some questions. So it wasn't really clear from the presentation. Is your wallet fully custodial or non-custodial?
Yeah, it's custodial, yep, and we have a token in our ecosystem. It's going to be used more as like a rewards and governance. Yeah.
Okay, got it. And then from an execution perspective, how are you managing trade execution and passing fair costs on to users? Because I think in a lot of these apps, we've seen issues with markups and the spread that's being passed on to consumers. So talk to me more about the underlying market infrastructure and how you're managing execution to get best cost for your investors.
Yeah, for sure. So we sit on top of exchanges. We API into different exchanges to try and get them the best price. And yeah, we have very fair pricing compared to the peers in exchanges in the marketplace.
Okay, and then the last question on that, as a fully custodial crypto wallet that's trading with a variety of different US and non-US counterparties, what is the regulatory overhead of launching in the United States going to be? Because compliance is really costly.
Yeah, so we have a novel regulatory position, which means that we don't need FinCEN registration.
Why is it novel?
Because of where we sit in we sit on top of exchanges, so we don't need an exchange license, we don't need FinCEN registration, and we've kind of removed all the risks around money laundering and counterterrorism financing, which kind of removes some of our obligations around KYC and AML because we've kind of taken away those risks.
Okay, thank you.
And I'm kind of curious about whether this is especially good for the underbanked segment, and how do you think about that, and how do you think about overall go-to-market in a place like the US, very different from where you came from?
Yeah, for sure. So it's obviously a massive market. Most people here have a bank account. Of course, people without a bank account is a big issue. Currently, at this point in time, if we want to do micro savings natively on crypto wallets, it just doesn't quite make sense with things like gas fees. But over time, we'll transition from rounding up people's spare change from their bank account to rounding up spare change from their wallets when more of the market moves in that direction.
And one more question: how do you think about risk holding the custody of these assets? What are the gotchas there?
Yeah, for sure. So our board does licensing for crypto funds in Australia and brings across all of their compliance and due diligence. We'll also be implementing things like SOC 2, which helps with controls and processes to make sure that that's always safe and secure.
I have one more question, sorry. Cost of customer acquisition. So you spoke about the podcast, but this is a really competitive category with very expensive AdWords. So how are you thinking about cost of customer acquisition versus lifetime value of someone on your platform?
For sure. So CAC really varies in whatever channel, but it's averaging about $25 a customer. Okay. But we're generating about $10 to $15 a month in revenue, monthly revenue. Once they're onboarded. So yeah, the ratio is quite good. Yeah.
Thank you.
Cool.
You seem like a great guy, Blake, but what's the rest of your team like?
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, we have our CTO, he's from Credit Suisse, used to do trading engines there. We have guys from financial service that have done the licensing for crypto funds. I think he did, one of our directors did the licensing for 6 crypto funds in Australia. Essentially, that's what we are, an unregulated retail fund for now, anyway. And yeah, our head of growth comes from, he comes from Telstra, which is like telco. He specializes in affiliate marketing. And yeah, so no, we have a really strong, well-rounded team. Our head of finance is from EY. She used to do M&As. So yeah, it's really great to work amongst them all.
Great. Thank you, Blake from Bamboo. Round of applause. Next up, let's invite Cell Protocol.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Claire from Cell Protocol. I'm the marketing lead, and we are a team of 10 people with experience from Coinbase, Morgan Stanley, Tencent, and we are serial entrepreneurs. So for Cell, we have mainly 3 value propositions. First, we want to democratize liquidity provision on order book DEXs. And second, we want to empower every retail user to harvest sustainable yield out of volatility. And third, and finally, we want to be the unified liquidity layer across different order book DEXs. So we started to build Cell because we are order book maxis. But right now, they provide less than 10% of the total DeFi trading volume. And one of the key problems is the high barrier to provide liquidity. So versus AMMs, this is mainly limited to professional market makers. So we wanted to change that, and our solution is to build a platform of grid trading bots. So as you can see here, to run a grid bot, you set the price range and then the density of the grid. And then the bot will automatically place limit buy orders on each grid level below the current market price and place limit sell orders above the current market price. So for users, you made a small profit out of each pair of buy and sell trade. And for the DEXs, the limit orders are essentially providing concentrated passive liquidity. And for us as a platform, we charge a performance fee if your bot is making money. So our interest is aligned with the users commercially. Actually, we are right now on Solana mainnet. And since our launch in March, there has been more than 400 bots opening. And we just won the very recent Solana hackathon and the MIT Bitcoin Expo. So to summarize, in finance world, there are 3 sources of yield. One is lending, Second is the trading fee, and third is volatility. So for lending, we have Aave and Compound. For trading fees, we have DEXs like Uniswap and PancakeSwap. But for volatility, it is still an untapped market. So for Sal, we are committed to provide users with sustainable yield out of volatility. So this is for us, and feel free to scan the code and check it out. I'm happy to answer your questions.
Thank you, Cell Protocol.
Can you talk more about competition from the exchanges? So why should they work with you versus doing it themselves?
Yeah, so there are already like great trading bots available on CX, a lot of them like Binance, KuCoin. So the difference with them is that first, the exchanges, their business model is different. So they charge you transaction fee for each pair of trade, whether you are making money or not. And there are also like softwares with APIs like connected with the exchanges like Pionex and BitUniverse, but you are paying subscription fees. So for us, we are not charging any of the fees. We are only like charging a percentage of performance fee if your bot is making money. And also, since we are connected to the orderable DEXs, they do not charge any transaction fees. And instead, they give you market maker reward, sometimes like 3 bips or 4 bips. So so if you're running similar strategy across different CX or softwares versus us, you are making basically more profit. Yeah.
I have some questions.
Yeah.
So the fee that you're charging, how is it charged?
Yeah, so users will permissionlessly open their trading bot on our platform, and when they terminate and end the bot, pull their money out, we're gonna charge a fee on top of their profit.
So can you just, I'm slow.
Yeah.
So I connect my wallet to the bot, right? What assets are you taking as collateral, or what chains are you connected to right now?
Yeah, so we are actually right now on Mango Market. So
so you're built on top of Solana?
Yeah, we are on top of Solana, live on mainnet. We connected to like Mango Market here. So you connect your wallet, and when you open bot, essentially we use smart contract to open your account on Mango Market and submit the orders on chain.
So I can use any Solana SPL tokens as my deposit into the strategy?
Yeah, technically yes, but we integrate with Audible DEX, so it depends on what listings they have available.
Okay, got it. And then a question around how you take the performance fee. So when someone terminates the strategy, you take your performance fee. From a regulatory perspective, does that make you an investment advisor or fund? Because typically if you're charging compensation, it puts you in a different category than if you're charging subscriptions, which is why I think the subscription model is more prevalent. So can you just expand on that a bit?
Yeah, so to be honest, we have not really delved into the compliance regulatory issues yet, but I believe it's going to be a different model versus the subscription fee, like the softwares you mentioned. Yeah.
And then, sorry, one more question.
Go ahead.
How are you sourcing your strategies? Are they all developed by your team, or can other traders submit their own strategies to the platform as well?
Yeah, so for each grid strategy, the users put different parameters, like what price range you set, what's the density of the grid, and also are you long or short the market. So basically the strategy is all coming from the users. And we have a copy trade function where you can just copy trade other people's spots.
So you're charging users a commission to trade their own strategy?
No, we don't charge any commissions. It's just purely performance fee.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then 8 million in volume. I saw that in your slide. 8 million volume and 400 bots. Like, what conditions have you stress tested the performance of your bots under? I'm just wondering how well can this scale? How certain are you? Solana aside, your own technology, how stress tested has it been?
Yeah, so since our launch on mainnet in March, people have been running those bots, and yeah, we have like blackouts of Solana, obviously, but once it is back, the orders, if the condition is matched, it's got failed. So we've been not seeing like a huge problem out of the network like downtime. And also about the scaling, yeah, Solana has its own throughput limit. So we are also exploring partnership with DEXs across different chains like Cosmos, Near, and Avalanche. And in the future, we're also looking at zero knowledge, which will be a huge scaling opportunity. Yeah.
Maybe
Great.
just a similar question. Sorry, one more. On auditing, how do you think about that? How do you think about auditing this?
Yeah, we definitely need auditing, and the security is the number one issue for DeFi protocols. So we are looking for auditing from different partners, and the team itself, we are looking really heavily on the security side.
Okay, thank you. Cell Protocol, a round of applause.
Thank you, guys.
Next up, let's invite Deeper Network to the stage.
Hello everyone, my name is Cheryl, the CEO of Deeper Network. Deeper is building Web3 infrastructure and ecosystem. Everyone knows that the key for Web3 is that the users are the owners. But if the owners don't own infrastructures, the foundation for Web3 will not be solid. How to engage the 4 billion internet users to building Web3 infrastructures? Today, we bring the answer. Deeper Connect provides the enterprise-level cybersecurity, privacy protection, internet freedom, and also it is a node of Deeper Web3 infrastructure. Deeper Connect as only Web3 products on Indiegogo beat all the other 1 million products over there, and we successfully raised more than 7 million on Indiegogo and Kickstarter. Even the top-tier YouTuber Unbox Therapy, who only reviewed big company products such as iPhones, Tesla cars, who recommended our product to all his 18 million subscribers, and he really loves it. Deeper Network provides the world's first decentralized VPN. We all know that there are more than 1 billion VPN users in the world. But why we target traditional VPN users? Because they have high demand for cybersecurity, for internet freedom, and for privacy protection. They have the genes to be future Web3 users. And from this picture, we can know that the other Web3 project only target for the first 2.5% of the speculative adventures, while Deeper is targeting on the mainstream users. Because without the mainstream users, the chasm from Web 2 to Web 3 will not be crossed. And decentralized VPN is more secure, lower cost, and more stable, much faster, and more intelligent. We have already distributed more than 68,000 of nodes all over the world in 152 countries. The largest VPN company, ExpressVPN, only has 3,000 nodes. And the number of nodes and revenue for Deeper Network growth have been growing exponentially in the past 3 years. Last year, we made revenue for more than $10 million. We aim to distribute 1 million nodes all over the world in the next 2 years. At that time, Deeper Network will become the world's largest decentralized edge computing platform. My name is Cheryl. I am a serial entrepreneur, and I founded other 2 blockchain service and legal service companies, which made more than 50 million revenue every year. And our team, they come from Palo Alto Networks, Fortinet, Google, Amazon, Crypto.com, and CoinMarketCap. Of the users, by the users, for the users. Deeper Network is your Web3. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Cheryl. Judges, your questions.
Just quick, if you can help me understand everything that you are putting together. You have a hardware.
Yes.
You have an operating system, Atom OS. You have a network, a protocol. It'll have its own token as well?
Yes, we have our own tokens as the incentive tokens in our ecosystem.
Okay, Cheryl, that's awesome, but that's a lot.
Yeah, I try to put every information here.
Right, no, in terms of what you're planning to build for all of this to come together, so what is your kind of plan of attack? What comes first, or do these all need to happen together for this to work?
It's a very good question. Actually, our company founded 4 years ago in Santa Clara. And at that time, we built our self-developed Atom OS, which is the world's first unlock operating system for all the enterprise-level cybersecurity functions. And then we integrate our software in our self-developed hardware. And why we deliver the hardware widely? Because that hardware can be connected in front of your router, and it can work 7 times 24 hours every day. It is your infrastructure, and every node, it is a server. So by purchasing our hardware, you have already become the infrastructure of Web3. And at that time, there's no concept of Web3, but we aim to build the next generation of internet.
What's the MSRP on that device? What's the retail price?
Oh, the retail price for that, it is $159 on Indiegogo and Kickstarter. Oh, by the way, but today we give you the coupon Deeper 2022 on our website, so you can enjoy this for only $69, only for today and tomorrow.
That's a great price.
Okay.
Yeah, I was wondering, it's amazing you have so many users already, but to go to the next, 100x more, right? Mm-hmm. Who do you partner with, and where do you focus? Is it like global, or those two questions? Where and how do you kind of penetrate?
Mm-hmm. It's a very good question. Actually, our customers are just the mainstream users of internet. We know that there are more than 4 billion internet users, so we target the ordinary people, ordinary users. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to bring all ordinary people to Web3. So we used to list it on Kickstarter and Indiegogo. Now we have our shop on Amazon and we have our own shop. We don't have the so-called the 2B partners because we try to do everything ourselves for e-commerce, for digital marketing, and our products are proved very, very popular on all those mainstream platforms. So it's very easy to sell. We're targeting the mainstream users.
I have one more question, sorry.
Yes,
in your slides, so obviously you talked a lot about network proliferation, number of nodes, and bandwidth available on the network. Do you have any data on the demand side and who's actually utilizing the network?
Oh, yeah, network. We have already more than 68,000 of nodes distributed in more than 152 countries.
Yeah, so I'm not concerned. So I think one of the big issues with tokenized distributed networks is there's a lot of supply because there's obviously an incentive for people to earn tokens by running nodes. Mm-hmm. But where's the demand coming from, the demand for network capacity?
Yeah, that's a very good question. By sharing the spare bandwidth of the user can earn tokens. They can earn DPR tokens.
Right, but who wants the bandwidth or who's paying for the bandwidth and tokens?
The other users who are going to use the spare bandwidth for other users, they pay the DPR tokens to the rest to the other node who share the bandwidth to them.
And how much demand is there for network capacity today?
How much the demand for the
capacity on the nodes on the network?
How much the capacity for the network on the network?
Yeah, so is there consistently as much demand as there is supply?
Yes, there's a consistent demand for every user. So every day you share spare bandwidth with the others, you earn tokens and also pay DPR tokens to the others.
Okay.
Yeah, so the DPR tokens is in our ecosystem to be used for micropayment.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Cheryl from Deeper
Thank you so
Network.
much.
Round of applause for Cheryl.
Here you go.
Next, let's welcome GivePack. Alicia taking the stage.
Oh boy. Hi everyone, I'm Alicia Mall and I'm the CEO and co-founder of GivePack, where we are increasing the value of good in the metaverse. There are 1.5 million nonprofits in the US and virtually none of them accept cryptocurrency despite the massive growth of giving. Walk in GivePact. We are building a crypto fundraising platform for nonprofits that funds a community DAO for social good. We want to make it super simple for the nonprofits. You can easily claim a profile and we will convert the crypto to cash for you. We know from our clients they don't want to accept crypto quite yet, so we'll do the hard work and make it a no-brainer. The revenue distribution is unique. 5% is the standard transaction fee. Now, 80% will fund our C Corp and 20% funds the nonprofit DAO. Pact is the token that allows you, the participants who are donors and nonprofit staff, to participate in the governance of the GivePact DAO. You get to decide how those funds in the treasury, that 20%, is allocated. The advantages of GivePact. Education. It's not just here's a donate button. Come learn. We're going to teach your team how to be the next generation of fundraisers and organizers in Web3. The DAO and the token incentivizes growth and retention of users. We're going to integrate with Web3 protocols like NFTX and Aave. And the most important thing is community, bridging the community of donors and nonprofits who are driven by social good and social change. This is a big market. It'll hit $5 billion in annual crypto giving by 2026. If GivePack takes just 10% of that, that's around $24 million in revenue. We already have 30 organizations and counting on our wait list. We expect to have 1,000 by the time we launch in October and November for Giving Tuesday. We are raising $750,000 in our pre-seed round. Team is everything to me. My co-founder here, Steve, is in the audience. He's working full-time, and Bin Yang, our head of tech. We have 14 years of quantitative finance experience. We are digital marketers. We have helped nonprofits raise millions. We've helped pass dozens of laws supporting the Innocence Project, freeing innocent people and stopping executions. And IndieDAO has worked with a number of Web3 companies, including Friends with Benefits. We love our team and we think we can do this. This is the big picture. It's bigger than you, it's bigger than me. We are creating a company that funds an ecosystem of giving and advocacy in the metaverse. And we want to work with you to build something special, so we hope you join us.
GivePack, over to you, judges.
I'll go. As someone who's a member of the boards of a number of nonprofits, some of them are incredibly traditional, right? So what is the universe of nonprofits that you're going to be targeting? Many don't understand crypto at all. And for those that are focused on crypto, may not feel like something like this, just added complexity. So what nonprofits are you targeting?
Excellent question. Well, let's first start off by saying this is we're seeing that nonprofits can make $50,000 to $100,000. So money right there. We're not charging you onboarding fees like our competitors. My bread and butter is in criminal justice, so that is the immediate. But of course, we are now in a moment where reproductive rights are under siege. We want to be ready to support women on the ground to get access to that. We have wildfires going on. We have the war going on. So these are the immediate needs. And so we want to make sure that we work with the organizations that are doing direct on the ground work, and the smaller ones too, who don't have the millions of revenue the way some other organizations do.
So if you're going to go for these, your choice to go over this, do you feel like this is the right audience though to accept something like a DAO? You mentioned the metaverse. I wasn't sure exactly where the metaverse fits in. How much education is going to be needed here?
Of course. So education is everything in what we are doing. Again, it's not, you can't just put a donate button on your website and think you're going to get donors. We're saying come to the community. You're incentivized by this token where you can decide how funds are being used. So it's going to be all about getting people to understand what Web3 is and how it actually advances your cause for social justice and to help your organization fundraise. So that is the big component. And then, of course, as you know, we enter potentially a recession, we think organizations are going to need to find new ways to find revenue. So it's actually a great time to make these relationships. As someone who has personally worked in nonprofits for the last 7 years of my life, I know where organizations are. I can meet them where they're at. We're community first, and we're driven by people and issue.
Alicia, I think, like you said, there's so many big problems in our world today. It's very inspiring that you're tackling them head on. The flip side is that I think many of us think that the downturn will be more severe than thought. You know, the implications are still being seen. So what kind of strategy do you need in terms of the supply side of funds, basically? How do you make sure that in the downturn, you can have a sustainable kind of business?
Yeah, so the great thing is that 1 in 2 crypto donors or crypto investors don't know they can give. And they actually are more benevolent than average cash donors. They want to give not just for the tax benefits, but to give because they believe in good. So that's the audience we're talking about, largely millennials. So there's people there who haven't given, who could give and offset taxes. So the money exists. Well, your question was?
That's kind of the question. Yeah. What do you do in this kind of next few years?
So this is about cultivating community and relationships. There are people out there who want to know who are the best folks on the ground, getting people out of prison, providing, food in under-resourced areas. The money exists, and we're going to bridge the community so the funds go to the best organizations possible.
A quick question. So token, $750K you're raising. How much of the token do you as the company own, and how much is being given to investors?
Yeah, good question. 15% for the C Corp, our investors, and the co-founders.
Got it. And the other 85% is distributed how?
50% to the nonprofits. And then nonprofits, or the C Corp, and
yeah, so that leaves 35%.
The people who give, the donors.
The people who give, so they get the other 35%.
Yep.
Okay. And then how is consensus reached in the DAO? What's the consensus threshold?
We're working on that, but ultimately we want it to be fair based on not so much volume of donation, but participation. So consensus is majority.
Okay. We're out of time, so let's wrap this up. Thank you, GivePack. Next up, Alex from Let Me Speak.
Hi, I'm Alex Brebnev, and never mind. I'm a co-founder of Let Me Speak. We've created a Web3 ecosystem to help solve the largest problem in online education, motivation. 1.4 billion people are learning English, and they are paying $60 billion a year for the privilege. What if they could learn and earn instead? We've taken a concept of play and earn and applied that to language learning. We've taken a high-quality Web2 educational product and added an economic layer to that to help drive motivation and help create a lot of potentially a lot of value in the ecosystem over short term. You download the app for free and you can start learning right now. No payment walls, no subscriptions. If you want to start earning, then you buy an NFT or you borrow one through scholarship. Then it's very easy. You do short exercises, you get instant token rewards, you spend those in-game or you exchange that for digital dollars. The Web3 ecosystem consists of the learning app, of NFT characters, decentralized marketplace, decentralized exchange, reward tokens, governance tokens. Governance tokens align interests of users, team, and early backers. Everyone has a vote. More than 700,000 people used our app to improve English in May. This is 5 times more than there were the number of users in January. The educational impact has been amazing. 30-day retention for learn and earn users is 4 times higher than for those who pay upfront for using the app. People are also spending 3 times more doing the learning. We launched the Web3 part of the ecosystem in early February. People have spent so far more than $25 million on NFTs. Twitter community has been growing relatively fast, so we have more than 1 million people following us on Twitter in less than 6 months. We want to inspire people to give, and Let Me Speak is a perfect platform for that. Let Me Speak can help deliver donors instant distribution of funds, measurable impact, and an audit of where the funds have gone. We're very lucky to have a team with deep expertise in Web3, in philanthropy, finance, and edtech, and very fortunate to have great partners with us. Learn VC, Stanford University, United Nations Innovation Network, and more. Hope some of you can join us too. Thank you.
Thank you, Alex. Judges, to you.
You said at the outset that you're starting with a high quality educational product.
Yep.
What is that product? How do I know I'm going to learn how to speak good English?
Right now, download it.
So is this something that you developed? Is this good? I mean, was this content created by somebody else and you're just adding something on top of it? Or what's the educational underpinning of what you're teaching?
The original app was created, so my partner has been creating language learning apps for the last 10 years. So he's created language learning apps used by tens of millions of people. So we then decided, in the kind of era of GameFi, say, how do we take the phenomenon which is there and apply it for the benefit of the society and look at the lessons which we would have learned from Axie and kind of sustainability in economy design? How do we do that to drive motivation in learning? And so what we've done is we've partnered up with him and kind of reimagined what Web3 language learning should look like. And lo and behold, here we go. And so far, we have very encouraging results. And I think we're mostly encouraged by the people who want to join us and how we're looking at it. I think there are various parts to it. And so some of the things which we're discussing with kind of professors at Stanford around kind of neuroscience and economic development, around how the level of rewards changes the neuroplasticity of our brain and makes us learn faster and get more excited. And also very happy to learn that, for example, Eric Hanushek, professor of economic development, they've already done it at Stanford before, where they needed to drive motivation of students to finish courses.
Let's focus on the crypto component for a bit, if we can. So help me understand. So I buy an NFT. The NFT entitles me to learn to earn tokens. Where are these tokens coming from? How are they distributed? Talk to me more about the token itself, because I'm not really understanding how it works.
Sure.
Again, slow.
No comment.
Okay, so I buy an NFT character.
It's a two-tier reward token system. So you basically, there's a reward token, which is, call it, relatively stable.
How much does the NFT cost today?
So there's a range of NFTs depending on on the level of earning. It's from $100 to $2,000.
$100 to $2,000.
Yeah.
Okay. And then
so then they all have different levels of learning rewards that you would have.
Okay.
So you earn reward tokens, right, which you can then kind of reinvest into reuse in the game, either to mint new NFTs and learn more, or you can sell, you can swap that for USDC on Serum markets.
Sorry, the NFTs which cost these amounts, is that what you're saying they're effectively going to cost? Because if you get a learn to earn token and you're going to mint something, then you own that NFT through that, right? And then you're going to sell that, I guess? Is that the idea?
Well, the idea is that it's up. Sorry, could you repeat the question so that I answer your precise question?
Oh, so following up on what Melton asked, so you have these tokens and you have these NFTs. Tokens come in because you learned and you get rewarded, right?
Yep.
And you use that to mint the NFT. And then, so when you talk about the cost of the NFTs, you're referring to like the average price that they're transacting at? What is that?
Yeah, so that's a very good question. So to start off, when you actually look at the marketplace, the prices are in USDC. So, however, when you want to mint your own thing, when you want the breed equivalent, and actually when you want to do that, then you need to pay L stars, so Learning Star. So it's Learning Star and LMS as the governance token.
And where's the demand for the L star token? Who's on the other side of the market buying it?
So, it's a combination of two things. So one is it's actually you who are not learning and not earning enough L stars who wants to participate and kind of earn more NFTs. That's one part. And so it's for you wanting to do more in game. Spend that on extension of your visa and doing a number of other
so you're continually dependent on more demand, more new users demanding L star than people.
Well, we'll work
very
closely
briefly because we got to wrap this one up. So
work a lot around around sustainability of that. So it's really a balance of the two.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Great. Thank you, Alex, for letting me speak. Next up, let's invite Merkle Science to the stage. Round of applause.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Nirmal from Merkle Science. Before we begin, I'd like to give you a quick overview of what we do. We build crypto compliance and risk monitoring solutions for crypto natives, financial institutions, and law enforcement. We founded Merkle Science in 2018. So my co-founder Mrigank used to work for Luno, a cryptocurrency exchange, and he helped them expand into Southeast Asia and Africa. I have a background in fraud sciences and machine learning, So I worked at PayPal and a couple of payment startups where I helped detect online digital payment fraud. We're also lucky to be joined by Fernando, who is our Chief Revenue Officer. And prior to joining us, he was the VP of Strategic Accounts at Forta. So at Merkle Science, we think Web3 will unlock a new set of opportunities for the world. But cryptocurrencies and digital assets are met with skepticism from the general public and lawmakers. So we want to work with stakeholders on all sides and help the entire ecosystem grow in a healthy manner. The problem that we are working towards today is to make it non-profitable for criminals, for crypto criminals, to cash out their exploits. In the future, we think we can make our technology predictable and probably even prevent things like DeFi exploits, rug pulls from ever happening. To give you a sense of what we're dealing with, the figure there shows you the cryptocurrency flows for a DeFi exploit which happened a few months ago. There were hundreds of transactions, a few blockchains, bridges involved, coin mixers, etc. Right? Traditional transaction monitoring tools cannot detect sophisticated money laundering like this. This is where we come in. So we're building predictive transaction monitoring, which uses heuristics and behaviors of bad addresses to predict bad behavior earlier than current incumbent technologies. We think this will make it even harder for criminals to cash out. And in the future, we think we are going to prevent things like smart contract exploits from ever happening. As a company, we think we're making a difference to people across the world. We partner with law enforcement, and we help them fight illicit activity like human trafficking, child pornography. We're also making it harder for criminals to cash out their funds, and in some cases, we've helped them recover the funds as well. We've been around for 2-3 years, and we have around 70 customers all around the world. Some of them are known brand names, Polkadot, Dell Chain, etc. We're seeing strong revenue growth quarter over quarter. Last quarter, we just hit 100% revenue growth. That brings me to the end of my presentation. So if you have any questions, you could reach out to our booth at 232 as well.
Thank you. Questions from Merkle Science.
So full disclosure for the audience, my firm, Digital Currency Group, is an investor in Merkle Science, so I'm not going to ask any questions. I'm not.
I have a lot of questions. Perfect. On your team, where's the machine learning experience coming from, or how are you doing the predictive analytics, and what's the competence you have on your team around that?
Sure. So I have a background in machine learning from PayPal. Our head of data science built the machine learning for Amazon.com in Seattle. So he's joined us, and he's going to help build out the machine learning teams as well. We've got data scientists distributed around the world, so Singapore, America as well. Yep. So this is sort of the team that we're using to prototype this.
Okay. In terms of the marketplace for sort of analytics and network topology visualization, which it looks like that's a lot of what you're utilizing, obviously very competitive market. There are numerous companies who have raised hundreds of millions of dollars, valued in the billions. How do you think you're going to compete in that market? And how do you think you can capture more market share?
So that is our second product, the network visualization forensics.
Sure.
We don't focus on it as much as our competition. We focus on transaction monitoring.
Okay.
And our niche there is, hey, we think we're the next generation, and we're going to be able to predict bad behavior before you know that it's bad behavior.
And then how do you surface that to me as the end user? Like, what's the specific output you're giving me? So you've given us some of sort of the visualization, but what do I actually get as the end user?
So I showed you the interface for our forensics product. Okay. There's another transaction monitoring product. So there you search for a transaction, and we give two kinds of risks, like a confirmed risk, like, hey, this is a scam.
Yeah.
But if it's too early and nobody knows it's a scam, we'll say, hey, we suspect that this could be a scam.
Okay.
And there's a false positive.
Yeah, and then how do you enable me? So you give me intelligence and insight, and then is there an action I can take, or is there a component I action within your platform? Or
Sure. So typically we work with the compliance teams on companies and say, hey, you need to map a risk level to an action you take. So you either report it to the government, you block the user, or you put it for manual review later. And so we work with the company in setting that up, but a lot of that depends on what the company itself wants to do.
Got it. How long does the integration process take when someone decides to onboard with you?
It should be 4 weeks.
4 weeks? Okay.
4 weeks, yeah, 2 to 4 weeks.
So maybe a few questions related to that. Can you talk about the data sources you require, both on-chain and off-chain, and how much participation from your clients? And then related to that, are you more predictive, or are you trying to recover? And then have you published papers on applying this to show like metrics? I guess 3 different questions there. Yeah.
Sure. How do we collect data? So it's a very important vertical in our team. So I call it product engineering, data engineering, and data mining. So data mining is a full vertical. We collect data through 5 different ways. We have a team of analysts, and we have built out like an entire IT system for them to basically collect data off the internet. That's one data source. We buy data from third-party vendors. We have partnerships with intelligence agencies and government agencies, so we get data which is not publicly available. There's 2 others which I don't recall, but we get data from customers.
Yeah, the other parts are how do you show that you have predictive value, and is it published, or how does one assess the quality of your results?
Correct. So the predictive capabilities work for certain risk categories. For example, we can predict Ponzi schemes, right? We can predict ransomware. So that's sort of where we are at. Right now, because we have got attribution for these data sets, we're labeling it on addresses we've trained it on addresses we already know is bad. But this is the problem right now we're trying to solve, right? When we say, hey, this could be scam, there's like a false positive rate of like 20:1, right? Or probably more, right? We have not yet published papers, but this is going to take us time to convince the industry, right? That you will find out that it's bad in the future. It's like chargebacks, how you find out that it's going to be a chargeback in the future.
Great. Thank you, Merkle Science. Thank you, judges, for your questions. Next, let's invite MetaGood to the stage.
Hi, my name is Amanda Terry. I'm co-founder and chief operating officer of MetaGood. MetaGood created an innovative NFT collection called On-Chain Monkey, which has created significant value for our community and done real-world good. Our mission is to empower communities to be catalysts for positive collective action. The challenge we're trying to solve is, how do you create wealth within a community, but also motivate people to work together for a greater good, like solving climate change? We've created a sustainable ecosystem, which we call the Monkeyverse. Think of it like a Web3 version of Pokemon, but all of the players are NFT holders, and we've created an incentive system through tokens, both non-fungible and fungible, to motivate people to take actions online, like on Twitter and Discord, and offline in the real world. We've launched a DAO where all of our NFT holders can both propose projects and vote on how the treasury funds will be used. And the funds that are earned through the DAO go back into community building. We truly believe in doing well and doing good. We're actually one of the top NFT collections for profits for our collectors. We've traded 13,000 in Ethereum. We have 15 employees and we're growing. We're a Coinbase NFT launch partner, StartX company, and we're most proud of winning Fast Company's 20 best world-changing ideas for impact investing for the work we did getting Sharbak Gula and her family out of Afghanistan to Italy, and the work we did with GigaConnect, helping them to connect schools globally with internet. We have a very passionate community. We have about 3,000 NFT holders today, 19,000 Discord members, 46,000 Twitter followers, a very global community who are organizing on-chain monkey community meetups all over the world. And we'll be launching our Karma collection on June 29th to bring more people into our community. We have a very experienced team of crypto builders. My CEO is Danny Yang, who's the co-founder of MyCoin, which is one of the largest cryptocurrency exchanges in Taiwan, PhD from computer science at Stanford. Myself, Web2 background, Twitter, NBC. Bill Tai, one of the first investors in Zoom, early investor in Wish, Canva, and 20 other publicly traded companies. And our general counsel came from Definity, where she was also general counsel previously at the Federal Reserve. We've raised a $2.6 million.
with the founders of YGG, Axie Infinity, Dapper Labs, Litecoin, Owen Wilson, Woody Harrelson. I see Nadi in our audience, Pussy Riot, woo! Guy Vassari from Sound Ventures, and we are now raising our seed round to grow. Join our movement of doing well and doing good. Come talk to me if you want to learn more about our mint or our round. Thank you.
Very basic question. This is going to sound idiotic, but how does it actually work?
So we launched a free mint September 11th of 10,000 Genesis monkeys. It was actually the first on-chain profile pic collection in a single transaction. So that was a historic first. So from that, we have 3,000 holders in our community, right? And our price has steadily grown. So based on number of profitable trades, we're actually one of the most profitable NFT collections globally.
But I still don't understand how it works.
Right.
So people get these monkeys,
yes.
they trade them.
We have a community. Now we've created a DAO. Every single person who owns an NFT in our community can both propose projects and vote on projects that our treasury will fund in the Web3 space and in social impact.
And how's the DAO funded?
50% of our public mint that's coming in Karma on June 29th, which we expect to be minimum 5,000 ETH just in the initial mint, plus 10% royalty revenues of trading. We're on OpenSea, Nifty Gateway, LooksRare, Mintable, will all go into the treasury. Then the treasury, as our community votes, will fund different Web3 for-profit projects and non-profit projects. So instead of our executive team deciding which social impact projects we take on, our community will decide what the treasury will be funding and how our community will be supporting different projects on a go-forward basis.
Okay, so NFTs sell NFT, revenues from the trading go to the DAO, and revenues from this public sales go to the DAO, and then DAO is allocated by NFT owners.
Exactly.
Okay, great, thank you.
That was a much briefer and
it
good explanation.
It would be very helpful if you start with that. Thanks.
Can you talk about your overall priorities? You had some great examples. How would you describe the overall priority for like where to target the philanthropy, the contributions in the future?
So, I mean, to date, we've done a ton of things. Like, I mean, 3 weeks into the project, one of our community members decided to donate one of his NFTs. He said, do what you want with it. We auctioned it off. It went for 12.5 ETH. Roam from Dapper Labs and actually won the auction. And then we decided as an executive team, so it was quite a centralized decision, to donate to the GigaConnect project, which is connecting schools globally. On a go-forward basis, which we're so excited about, instead of us deciding what projects to support, all of our NFT holders through the DAO will be able to decide what projects, and there's already projects that have been proposed, that have been debated in our Discord, there's been votes in the DAO. So our community members in a decentralized manner will decide how are those community treasury funds used to support both Web3 projects that build the On-Chain Monkey brand and community and accomplish social impact.
How do you go outside beyond this community of holders? Like, how do you leverage the entire world to do bigger things than yourself?
Yeah, I mean, to start, that's part of the reason we're doing this public mint on June 29th. So we will be bringing, you know, another 10,000 Karma monkeys out there and hopefully, you know, 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 more holders into our community. And that's just the beginning. We can continue to launch more and more NFT collections to bring more members into our community. But we're also working with brands. So, you know, not sign on paper, but we've been talking New York Stock Exchange, Zoom. There's many brands that have been very impressed by what we've been able to create in terms of an authentic community and incentive tools to get people to do things on Twitter, Discord, in real life. And they want to learn from us. So there is a whole nother business that we're working on, helping brands to create NFT collections to authentically engage with and incentivize their customers and shareholders.
I love your assumption that people are good and they want to do good. But it's an assumption, right? And if you have you're decentralizing your governance, and people may choose to fund things that you may not consider, the management team may not want to do. Or if you have New York Times now doing something, and there's some people who really don't like the New York Times, and they may vote for something very, very different from what your partner wants to do. So how do you handle a situation like that?
Very brief answer. I mean, that's kind of like a democracy. We can't 100% control it, but we are working on governance protocols so that we have some veto rights potentially over things. But it's an experiment, right? So we're figuring it out as we go along.
Round of applause for Amanda from MetaGood. And our last presenter today, Mona.
I think this is working, right? Yeah, we're good. Hey everyone, my name is Justin Melillo. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Mona. Mona is the metaverse world-building platform and network built for creators by creators. Since our launch in October of last year, we've onboarded over 3,000 creators who are already using Mona to design and mint online spaces, launch immersive exhibitions, host electrifying concerts, and even build really engaging scavenger hunts. Basically, we make it really easy for any creator to build a high-quality virtual world, mint that virtual world as an NFT, and then sell that NFT with perpetual royalties. So we're not built on a land sale model. You don't have to buy tokens. It's totally free and open for any creator to build their own world, mint it, and sell it. Our mission is to create a metaverse that belongs to everyone, which is why anyone can create worlds and mint them with Mona. No land purchases, no limits. We're focused on building the tools, systems, and protocols to grow the open metaverse. We also have the highest quality experience that you can have, all accessible via the web browser. So you can jump right into any Mona world straight from your web browser without having to download anything. And we have a full multiplayer system with customizable avatars, voice chat, text chat, and we also have token-gated access. So you can also build a world and token-gate it based on NFT ownership. We're decentralized and creator first. So all of the 3D assets that you build with Mona are actually stored on IPFS. And that means they're also interoperable as well. We're allowing creators to mint worlds in formats that can be taken across to different platforms so that they're not locked into one central platform. We're also forward-facing and visionary, and we're planning for the future when the AR hardware gets better and better to display worlds in your actual real-world setting as well. So right now you can access Mona from any web browser. Pretty soon we're going to be launching our VR integration, and then we'll launch AR soon in the future as well. I co-founded Mona last year with my best friend, Matthew Hurl. We actually met at art school together, and since then he's become an accomplished AR VR developer and is the inventor on 12 AR patents. I myself am a 3D AR VR artist and have been for over 10 years, worked at DreamWorks Animation, Magic Leap, have designed tour stages for various musicians. And we started Mona with the mission to really create the first creator-focused Web3 metaverse platform. We have really amazing developers, creators, and strategists who are all over the world who are on our team as well, helping to build the future of the open metaverse. The most important aspect of what we're building is our community of creators. So since our launch, creators have actually made over $500,000 by selling virtual worlds on Mona. So it's our duty to continue to build the tools and features that they need so that they can continue to succeed in this entire new career path. We have 3D artists, game designers, even real-world architects who are changing their entire careers to become full-time metaverse builders. So that's why we need to continue to build the tools and resources that they need to support them. We also have a...
yeah, we got to wrap this up. You're over time.
Oh, I'm sorry. We also have an incredible network of supporters, and I would love to invite everyone to build the open metaverse with us today, www.monaverse.com. Thank you.
All right, Justin. Thank you. Judges.
Can you talk about the royalty stream? So after you create something, you mint NFT, okay, then it goes out into the wild. How do you get paid after that?
Yeah, so creators are able to mint on the Mona smart contract. So Mona gets a 2.5% royalty percentage, and creators get 5% of the royalty in perpetuity.
But does that only work if the deployers of that IP uses something on-chain? How do you serve like off-chain purposes?
Yeah, so right now, we're integrated with OpenSea as our marketplace. So all of the royalties are handled by OpenSea. So they're paid out to our smart contract, and then we automatically pay creators.
Who's a creator?
Who's a creator?
I mean, I'm presuming you said your partners at art school, and then you were, Magic Leap. But for a musician, for a poet, for an engineer, I mean, there's so much type of creativity. So who belongs here?
Yeah, I mean, really, it's anyone and everyone. First, we're targeting 3D artists. So these are artists who are building in tools like Blender, Maya, Cinema 4D, or VR artists who are using Gravity Sketch, or architects using a tool like Rhino or Revit. They're able to actually take the assets they're already creating, and they're able to upload them to the web browser and mint those 3D assets as NFTs. So really, it's targeted for 3D creators first, but we're really excited about opening up our network to other types of creators as well. We have 2D artists who are creating 3D worlds. We have musicians who are collaborating with 3D artists to create audio reactive 3D immersive worlds. What's really exciting about this is that we're not selling land. Really, we're building tools for creators to mint an entire new type of NFT, not a JPEG or a video, but an actual immersive, interactive, virtual experience.
Because the reason I ask, I mean, is this a societal challenge that you're helping to solve?
Yeah, well, I think the big issue is that current metaverse platforms, you need to actually buy land in order to participate. In order to actually build and get your work seen, you have to, there's a huge barrier to entry for any type of creator to participate. So for us, we're actually solving that issue by making it totally free and open for anyone to participate. There's no application. Anyone can just go on our website and start building. And immediately, they're able to start monetizing their work, which they're already doing.
How do you make money?
So yeah, that's we get that royalty or sort of that revenue share on every sale of a space.
Okay, and that's in ETH.
Yeah, that's we're on ETH and Ethereum and Polygon. We're going to be opening up to other chains as well.
And you don't have a token, right?
No token.
Okay, so how does governance work? Let's say I want to launch, this is an extreme example, but let's say I want to launch like a Nazi virtual world. How do you manage sort of content moderation and governance? Because I fully appreciate the vision, but I think there's a huge challenge sort of with open metaverses, and again, very extreme example, but would love to hear more about governance and content moderation.
Absolutely. So we have a very active Discord community, so that's really where our community has been built so far. And creators there have a direct say in what features and what things that we're doing next with our platform. So we're not officially a DAO, or we're not officially a decentralized organization, but we are community first. And then in terms of what content is being created, we listen very closely to creators and their needs. Thankfully, we haven't had any of those issues yet, but we are going to be building in moderation tools that make it easy for creators to report bad actors.
And how does that sort of community feedback scale as your community grows? Because it works, I think, when the Discord is a couple of thousand people. Yep. Having been in a lot of virtual communities, I think as these things grow and scale, how do you plan to sort of manage that chaos?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think there are many tools that kind of help manage communities at a larger scale. So we're already starting to implement those, and it makes it really easy for community members to vote and issue tickets and report things. So we're planning to leverage existing tools for that. Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Okay. Justin from Mona. Thank you.
So much. Thank you very much.
And this wraps up all the pitches today. I want to thank all of the founders here joining us today. You're all winners in your own right. So thank you for sharing your innovation, your drive, your passion. And many of you have talked about community, and this is what we are together, especially with Extreme Tech Challenge. So thank you. And I also want to thank the judges for your insightful questions. I feel like we could have even gone longer, but we actually definitely learned a lot from the exchanges. And to all of you joining, thank you for joining us today. Join us back on the main stage tomorrow morning, where we're going to be announcing the 3 winners headed to Neckerverse at Sir Richard Branson's Necker Island, and also the grand winner who's going to be showcased at the Extreme Tech Challenge 2022 Global Finals presented by TechCrunch in San Francisco next Tuesday. Thank you.